Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that delay. There were some tech issues coming in, but they are ready to rumble, and don't mind what it says up the top. forZe are definitely ready to rumble, as it's 1-0. They won the pistol round just a little bit ago, and they've decided on 4 Mac-10s to start things off. Inferno looks like a pretty decent map for them, I guess, overall, but consistency has been the problem for them recently. In some games, you'd clearly predict them to win, and yet they get smashed in. Like that game versus Endpoint. So what face of forZe are we seeing today? Gambit youngsters are going to hope it's the weaker one. They were playing well earlier, with Shiro and Axel doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and the push towards B sees a 3-man stack on this site. So a good start for Gambit youngsters, but those nades, ho, they hurt Super a lot. Weaken him up, soften him for those Mac-10s.
Yeah, push Supra.
Oh
really
my god!
And what there's going to be an easy kill. Supra goes down at the end of the nade, and while FizzCrack comes in with the Mac-10, just taking away these softened opponents. It's just Inters and Axel left alone, and well, they shouldn't really be getting too much done here. It's going to be a difficult challenge nonetheless, and well, forZe 2-0 up. Not too bad at all from them. A pretty good start coming into this, and sometimes when I cast forZe, watching these second round buys are just so quick for them. This is why I love forZe. When I cast this team, all the boring rounds that happen at the start is just so quick because they just cut through them. They want to get into the gun rounds as quickly as possible. And these Mac-10s, building up the money. It's Inters and Axel left alone. P250's in play. They're going to be down in towards the bottom of the banana. Big sprite for FizzCrack about to come through, but Axel will take him away with this P250. Almezu manages one, and Inters goes down. Just Axel, not the last remaining player. 5 HP is going to go down as well. A lot of money being built up here from forZe. Now we go into this round here. Well, we could get a buy-in from for Gambit youngsters, but it won't look good at all. So probably going to be a couple of Deagles purchased up, a couple of upgraded pistols, but we should be looking at 3-0 here for forZe.
It's always viable to take some weaker buys on a round like this. To have SMGs alongside M4s if you can get an op, but yeah, like you're saying, Gambit youngsters very unlikely to pull anything like that out, especially because even if they were to take an AWP, it'd be with that armor. Axel would probably drop it to Shiro, and Eagle's pretty much the prime strategy, especially for CIS Counter-Strike. And another...
You mentioned one keyword there in your sentence, and that's AWP. And well, I'm looking forward to the AWP battle between Power and Shiro, because that is going to be a very fun battle to watch. Those two very, very talented AWPers within this region. Power and Inferno could be one of the most exciting players, I think, to watch, to be honest. He gets super aggressive in towards middle, takes fights down second mid. He's always in these positions you don't really expect him to be in. And I hope we get one of those Power performances. And then again, on the other side of things, I hope we get the Shiro performance we know he can deliver.
Well, if one of them doesn't show up, it won't be much of a fight. That's for sure.
True. Well, more like a beating.
It's an execution. And the way forZe are looking right now with the 4 SMGs again, they're favoring the B-bomb site, and they're quite likely to get it. Look at this, man. Exactly what happened to Super last round. 4 or 5 nades went in and landed on him. He was up above, and yet they did enough to take him down, obviously. It's a barrage. And the best thing about it was I'm pretty sure they threw 4 nades to start it off. That did a little bit of damage. It was possibly 3. And the Super was like, okay, I'm 20 HP. I've got a good angle. When they smoke off, I'll get at least one from above the smoke. And then another nade came in, and he was gone. For forZe, you can see they're hunting, and Gambit not moving. Oh, why are they retaking B? You know, think of they've only got pistols, only USPs. What are they, noobs? Don't they want to win the round? They know their opponents have SMGs. They don't want to die to them and give free money over. And they're actually managing to get a little bit of impact by playing this sneaky game. See, as soon as the players are spotted, the round's over. They get torn apart by those Mac-10s. The player in pit, Axel, was able to pick up a further frag, but that initial one by Super as well was the whole aim of the game, right? Just catch them off guard, jump out, give them a surprise. Now, with 3-0 on the board for forZe, they're doing well, but they didn't get the capitalization or the monetization they wanted for their Mac-10s in the previous round. They lost a lot of players. The economy has been somewhat managed. Considering the second round went so poorly, the damage they've done in the third, I think, has definitely made up for that. As much as you would could realistically expect.
Well, forZe. Bit of a bonus coming in for Jerry and FaZe. Damage down towards top banana. Or at least attempted damage. Not exactly any damage done at all. Minus 99, but we'll see. It's going to be Supra with the double kills. They try and run around the position. He'll shut down Jerry and FaZe. Good round coming in. Almirza able to find one. Supra goes down. Now Shiro just going to play up on top of the coffins. Around the corner, currently Almirza. He's going to go up on top of those sandbags. Spamming through the smoke, trying to take players down. Could potentially be getting aggressive through CT spawn, but forwards, they've lost early advantage. And while Axel, he's coming at the right time. He's just taking free control of the apartments and Flit is left.
It was really smart by Super to smoke that molly. He needed it, obviously, to get back to B if he was going to dodge the bullets. But as he didn't, it meant that there was a smoke down and a player behind it. No way forZe were going to push through on that. They knew that was just one player B at that point because of the early banana positions. But with the smoke in play, all of a sudden Shiro was much, much safer. Now they're going to push right into two players with the rotates. And as you mentioned, the push behind. Banana's already compromised. It doesn't even matter about Banana. Jeez.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at all. But Zapower's going to go back here anyway, and he's going to go down. Axel gets rid of him. And well, that's just a good round coming in from Gambit youngsters. Good proactive play on the CT side. Good timing, good reads, good communication. Solid utility usage as well. And Super starts off that round immediately well for the Gambit youngsters side, taking down two players. Immediately puts forZe into a huge disadvantage where they're currently fighting with three players. And well, the timing in the apartments kind of goes against forZe. Flit was still up there, but he left the apartments just at the wrong time, and Axel moves up and sees that control. That gives all the information to Gambit youngsters that forZe are attempting to B hit. And well, it starts off well this time for Zapower. And something we always talk about for Zapower, something we'll really attest to this guy, is his ability to open up rounds with that ult.
Those early fights, he's always involved in the early duels, but it's something I'd very much assimilate over on Shiro's side. Nade's gonna land down.
So much put it with Shiro. Like, Shiro, for me, is a little different than Zapower for the main reason that Shiro is the carry for this team. He is the star by far, right? But Zapower is more of an asset. He's more of a player that stands tall and opens up the rounds. He's kind of a key that opens the rounds up.
True.
And he doesn't really ever need to be that top player consistently. Someone else on forZe can step up, right? And that's what we usually say is a strength from forZe, is the fact that they have got players that can stand tall and everyone can top that scoreboard. Whereas with Gambit youngsters, you kind of want Shiro playing well every single game. And in all sort of situations.
Yeah, definitely. It's a serious distinction between them. Probably why Shiro doesn't go looking for fights quite as much. Oh my god, those nades! Disgusting! 300 damage nearly done, and some of these players are going to be one bullet to the M4s, torn apart as Super picks up a couple. His teammates down in the pit are good to go. They know there's another below, but Axel still takes another kill, and the shot by Zapower to win the round. forZe come up with a 3K, and that's out of this world. They should have been knocked out of that round. There was such good damage by the nades early. Super with the double. Two players still in pit. Everything was looking good for Gambit.
Well, that's the thing I was just, talking about the fact that Zapower could be such a strong asset for this team. He pops off in this kind of round, winning them a clutch that they needed. 3 big kills, 3 impact frags coming in from Zapower. That looked done. Super with those 2 kills inside the site. It was over. We completely counted out. My brain switched off. I thought we were moving into this next round. I was focusing on breaking down what just happened. And well, unfortunately, Mitch, it doesn't even go that way. Gambit youngsters, they lose the round. Big plays from Zapower. Gets them right back into things. And that's just horrible for Gambit youngsters. Everything had lined up perfectly for them. You pointed out that initial nade damage that was done. Unbelievable nade damage. Softens up forwards even before their attack is actually coming through. Once they hit that A-bomb site, they get absolutely mowed down, right? And then a clutch comes through from Zapower. Good stuff.
It's exactly what they needed at the final hour. I mean, even still, you're seeing a Map1 come out for FaZe crack, and using that to claim a little bit of top banana control early on. Now, they find that for free, and they know they're clear to set up their smokes. The concern here is no one's holding that corner for the players to come up peeking around. Eventually, Jerry goes out, so it's all good. But Gambit are very passive on this bomb site. They're low in utility already. Now, Nafni was playing anti-flash, but they just barreled around, took the kill. Super gets death from above like it's Assassin's Creed. And that's going to pretty much conclude the round. Gambit don't have the money to go for this.
An unfortunate circumstance for Gambit youngsters. They do have to save what they've got. Couldn't quite get involved in towards that B bomb site. FizzCrack doing exactly that on the B site itself. Now Gambit youngsters left just saving their weapons to the next one. 1, increasing to 5. Looks like they will be able to save all of their weapons, which is very important here for the Gambit youngsters. They head into the next round with nothing. Well, they will get nothing. Here they have a chance. Shiro alongside enters Naxel. They've got weapons in play. Nafany. See that Super can't get drops. They can get FAMAS from the rest of the team if they decide to drop them over and go for this. They can get a full buy through. CT timeout coming through from the Gambit youngsters, wanting to talk over their options, see what they can get together here in this round.
It's definitely important to just calm down for a little minute. Take a look at how those rounds have gone for Gambit youngsters. They've just been wrecked by a Mac-10, and not really much else happened. FaceCrack walked through the smoke, caught the Coffins player Nafny off guard playing anti-flash, took Super down super easily. And that was it. It's a round over, and if you let a Mac-10 walk all over you like that with very little utility support, well, it doesn't look too good for you then. Moving on into these next rounds, especially with the upgrades that have been gotten by the T side. There is a lot to be done by Gambit youngsters, and they've decided to go down the P250 on Nafny and Super. Some of the teammates could have dropped over even a P250 and gotten those players' armor, but they're playing a super conservative Counter-Strike at the moment, looking to potentially and essentially give forZe a 6th round. It has to be a huge play by the players with the rifles, and that's why Shiro has gone so aggressive. Up in the apartments, posted, waiting for some aggression. The flash, oh, that's going to be great for Gambit youngsters, but forZe had already flashed the guys on the site, so they couldn't react on the back of it. Utility essentially cancelled each other out. And with Flit catching Supra's push, Shiro knows there's a player here. He wants to get aggressive with that op. He's going to bide his time, and he might catch them as they come up mid. Now, evidently looking to hit A, but they don't know that Shiro's still around here. Tiger waiting in his den, now looks to come out on short. Oh no! Almazer 1 HP, just about survives the shot. I don't even think that was a leg shot. Did the metal get in the way? That's tragic. The rest of Gambit youngsters being hunted down.
Oh, well, at least Axel will actually save his weapon, at least for now. Flick goes down, and forZe can actually afford to hunt at a couple of these players at this point. But Gambit youngsters, this is not the start they'd be looking for. And so far, Mitch, question we asked earlier at the start of this is, what forZe is going to show up to this match? So far, it seems like a pretty good forZe, which I'm happy for.
Are you happy for Z? Because
very funny.
I know.
That's a Hawker joke.
A funny
guy. I
guy.
can catch him a Hawker there. Hawker makes the most terrible jokes. And
I know.
He's not even a dad yet. Imagine what he's going to be like when he's an actual dad.
I don't want to imagine that child. Never mind the jokes he makes.
Well, Hawker will be on the analyst desk here after we play Clutch Island. You can head over to Twitch chat. Let him know that you think his child will be awful. And tell them Mitch Mad sent you.
Trying to get vengeance for me. For yourself,
yeah, but I actually find it funny. Like, this will be good because I almost agree. So, yeah, you can say I sent you too.
Almost
anyway,
agree. All right.
So
Okay.
Yeah, who knows? You might find some crazy normal human being. Well, Shiro. One of the AWP. Good nade damage done on towards Jerry. FizzCrack and Almazer taking a little bit of damage. Jerry taking the brunt of it though. Game leader of this team, who has quite possibly some of the best interviews in Counter-Strike.
What's shocking about them is that he's just so honest. And when they come out of a series that they lose, it's amazing to listen to him just literally tell you why they lost. He doesn't try to sugarcoat it or say, oh, you know, they were just better or whatever. He's like, no, this is what happened. We messed this up. It gives you great insight. forZe just got naded again, heavily on short. Gambit youngsters' nades have been on time towards the A site pretty consistently. We're not quite reaching big levels of nades. You recall, just in Pro League, we were watching 1,000 damage and a half. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh!
That was, okay, Shiro wallbang on towards Jerry. Nice kill. And now the push comes through. It's the Ops trying around the corner here. FitzCrack looking to get involved. Supra is going to be right by. There's a gap in the smoke. He's going to push forward a second as well. Big hold here from Supra. It's all on foot. And he's been sent towards the A-bomb site. tasked as the lurker on this side of the map to cut off those rotations. And, well, once his teammates all fall on that B-bomb site, his role now becomes to save his AK. What a round from Supra. What a round from Shiro. Double S combo. Delivering for a second round.
You want to say that another way? I love that I can see Dinko's face. It's the benefit of producing here. Just great to tell some jokes and then just watch him.
Yep, Mitch. And
sounds creepy. I like to watch you, Dinko. I've got a camera in your room.
we are really going off. We're off the rails as the day
That's
goes
the
on.
fourth best of three.
And we're on the fourth best of three.
Is that an innuendo or? I didn't see any bongos.
Okay, Rich. Family show. Oh well, Shiro up on the half wall. I'm gonna try and get this back on track. I'm gonna try. Oh, Shiro, he's burning the Molotov. He's down to 10 HP. He's gonna get out of position. And up forwards with the utility, you're gonna be throwing that on in towards the A-bomb site. This crack charge on up. Molotov down in front of his face at the moment. Utility available here on the forward side. And now Flit, well, he's out there ready to come out off the balcony. And this time forward's just going straight for the long wrap, and this might just work for them. Gap in that smoke the Gambit youngsters try to throw down. It's on the right side. Might try for the boost here. Flit looking down in towards the pit. Kill comes in from Jerry, but it's traded back by Inters.
Yeah, the 4v4, but Axel and Shiro's so down low, and Shiro's all alone. Face crack. Well, he shoots him in the chest, contrary to popular belief. He didn't aim for the head, but it doesn't matter. forZe have now got the B-bomb site, and again, well, the economy's okay for Gambit, but they really need to save these 3 weapons if they want a full investment for the next one. Unless they're confident in their ability to win this. And if they do go down towards middle, I think they'll be in for a rude awakening. There's a power still around this area. Well, there's going to be a fight in mid, potentially. If Zapower gets there on time, it looked like Nafni was going to go for the peak. Had the cross back over to short. But he decides to tuck in instead, and it's definitely the right call. There's Gambit youngsters losing yet another round, putting forZe up on 7-2. But that kind of scoreline built up, they have done pretty damn well. I think we know which forZe we're getting to see today. It's like the occasional game that slips up, and I wonder, I haven't done any research into what other games they had at the same time. Maybe that was like second or third best of 3 of the day, some stuff like that. Maybe they're focused on other tournaments.
I think at the moment, luckily, I feel like we've actually started to see a decrease in those crazy online tournaments. Like there aren't as many 5 betting company tournaments all at the same time, you know? So these teams aren't as exhausted coming into the matchups, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if it's just because at the moment we've got so much online Counter-Strike that it's kind of impossible to also run online tournaments. But at the moment we have definitely seen a decrease in that. So at least some of these teams have actually been able to focus on some of the bigger tournaments they've been playing in, and they've got some great opportunities. I think in this one, clearly this is a big opportunity for both of these teams, trying to get into the main event here. Oh, missed shot from Shiro. Oh, FaceCrack's going to take him down. That's not a shot you usually see Shiro miss. And if Gambit youngsters are misfiring at this point, forZe are just going to capitalize on it. Gambit youngsters look absolutely fantastic against Namiga a little bit earlier on today. But at this point, seem to be struggling. And what Axel? Oh, the flash. He goes in, Flit blinds Axel at the perfect time. And Axel, he had a perfect opportunity, but it doesn't go his way. And now the push comes in towards the bomb site. forZe hold the 2-man advantage to try and finish the round here.
A really good chance for them. Inter's the only line of defense here on the A-bomb site. Nafni's on the rotate through, so Inter's needs to hold for him. Can't get it done. He's smoked off and spammed to hell. Oh man, I think every player on forZe just hit him through that smoke. Time to run away for Supra. Save this weapon for another day. He's even conscious of someone flanking out on B. I mean, that's how little information. Even after such a convincing push by forZe straight up mid onto A through short. Gambit youngsters have no info because they're dying to 1 or 2 players at a time. I think the most that were spotted at any one engagement were 2 players. Super's at least going to be able to carry forward this M4. No one's hunting him down. At least not quick enough. And Jerry is going for a bit of a poke and a prod. That's forZe with another. And they're looking so damn strong. T-side building up an insane amount of rounds. And it's not like in some of the other games where you will have seen us at this very scoreline for Namiga on Nuke. We were in a position where we were saying, oh, you know what? It's not terrible. They can come back into it. They ended up getting back to a 10-5 scoreline. But the reality is, back then, they were making every round come down to a 1v1 or 2v1 at most. Right here, forZe have just been stomping them.
Yeah, forZe have really just been having a great time on this T side right now, and they're continuing it as well. They have got inters into a boiler here, and while Axel, he's got to look up towards the top of the stairs and catch out FaceCrack. That's very quick indeed. There's no way FaceCrack was reacting to that inside. A good trade though from Almazri. He peeks out in towards top middle and inters goes down. A 4 versus 4 at the start of round 11.
forZe haven't yet dictated the pace of this round, exactly where they're going to go. They're out on short looking for any opportunities, but none being granted just yet. Oh, they missed Axile by a hair. The majority of the rounds that they've gone for have been towards the B bomb site or very late on A attacks, but not getting any progress there and towards the pit. You're going to see that B rotate. Let's go back to what works. Remember, FaceCrack entered this site with a Mac-10, so they feel pretty confident when they're 3-man pushing it with rifles.
Well, Supra just in behind the coffins. At the moment, the utility's going to go on up, and now Jerry sits by. They play on the edge of the smoke. Nathany looking for the pick here. He's going to spray away. Jerry goes down. Zapower also heading to deck. And now it's Flit, last alive, in an unwinnable position at this point. 1v4. He'll back out of B and run back down towards Banana, but he might die here as well. Only 7 seconds. You need to be careful he doesn't die after time. So instead of extending around the corner where he doesn't really know what's going on down in middle, he's going to try and stay here. Let's see if this AK. He's got a lot of money left in the bank, but you still don't want to really die here. In fact, he doesn't. So forZe 8-3. They have already won the half, but Gambit youngsters starting to chime together a little bit of success now. We'll see if they can replicate that in this round. They're not out of the woods just yet. forZe's money is on the ropes though. Pretty similar economy for both teams right now, so this could definitely get interesting.
Well, forZe, again, spreading into this default, right? They're playing in apartments. They've got their 2 players there. Ooh, the wall bang. It's down to, what, 18 HP? That was through boiler, just above the door. Shocking. But they're looking for a little bit of banana control with 3 players. They're going out in apps with 2. Flit, going to be much more passive now on that low health. You can see he's already going down second mid. He's leaving. I guess they don't feel like they can get any progress there. It's not uncommon till the FaceCrack around lurking. But I think at this point, based on the body language of forZe, based on the uncontested top banana control, they're going to go in for another one of their B hits, this time with all 5 players. They found it easy in the past. No mollies going down to slow them. The nades come in, but a player caught with a nade out on sight. Luckily, Almazer misses the jump up on top and taken down through the smoke.
Well, Nathany and Supra finding kills between them, and suddenly a 2-man advantage of play here for Gambit youngsters. One they'll feel very comfortable with, as Supra's going to go in and follow up. There's only Zapower left alone. A 1v4 as he's on the back lines of the B-bomb site. Stuck at new box. 20 seconds to try and recover that bomb, and it just will not be happening here for Zapower. He's got so much to do. Gonna come back down in behind first orange boxes. He's probably just gonna hope and pray that he can somehow get this open in the next round, and that just will not be happening most likely here. Here they go, forZe now after time. This would be the most desperate time for Zapower to go down. He's in the corner. There's the first pick. Can they get him? Can they shut him down? Of course they can. Dies after time as well. It's it for here on the board. forZe, well, in a real strange scenario right now. After looking so dominant throughout the entire half, I have a few questions now posed to their attacking side, and ones they'll try and answer during this tactical pause. I've got some money left over in this bank. Whether or not they'll be able to get a solo buy is in the question. I think they'll be able to get a decent enough buy here. Whether or not they'll go for it, I don't know either. You know, they could go with Eagles, but it's up in the air, Mitch.
I mean, based on how convincing they've been so far, and they've got stacked money, a super high stacked money on 2 players. Oh, yeah, okay, we're going in for the AKs. I was thinking Deagles all around, armor, utility, and just go in for a faster play, but it's going to be a full buy.
They definitely know that Gambit youngsters' economy can't be well built up, right? So this is a good opportunity. They managed to get the ult back because Flit had a lot of money, and he's being a team player and decides to give the ult to Zapower and takes a Galil instead. Now, a big sacrifice for Flit himself there, but nonetheless, they do get a pretty decent buy out of this. The only real weaknesses, well, 2 of them, lack of utility on a couple of players, and also the CZ. But if this pays off for them, well, there's not a whole lot of money left over here for Gambit youngsters, so I'll put them on the ropes yet again. forZe will be up to 9 rounds on the T side of Inferno, feeling comfortable already.
You know, T-side opping isn't usually something that you look at all too favorably. So far, Zapower, he's having an okay time. I wouldn't say he's being hugely impactful. Same can be said for Shiro, though. Those AWPs have played a fairly marginal role in the gameplay so far. Been all about those riffles. Look at that. Straight through to spawn with the CZ face crack. Oh, he does that. Only cracks Nafany, though. Eventually taken down by Almazer, who has to disengage. Start of that fight didn't quite go his way. Shiro good for 1 as he fades on back, drops his smoke, and slows that down. Almazer tried to go back to A, but he couldn't get through. It's the power running straight down Banana. That is heard immediately. Oh, Gambit youngsters know exactly what's going on. An easy close.
Well, that's a round that forZe didn't really make work. Power coming back in towards second middle, saving this AWP as far back as he can. I mean, if he gets this in the next round, at least it's something, but Gambit youngsters starting to make this half competitive. They are in a position where they might actually be able to get these last 2 rounds in 8-7 after the way Gambit youngsters were kind of getting toyed with at the start of this half. Well, I'm not complaining about that. I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest, if I'm Gambit youngsters.
The comeback has been real, that's for sure. Ollie down behind Jerry. He's forced forward. Just to deal a little bit of damage, but lucky to escape the AWP of Shiro. There's no utility whatsoever to work with on the terrorist side past what they've used already. And with that, we should see a fairly clean round for Gambit youngsters, as long as they can avoid that AWP of Zapower and the couple of upgraded pistols. Nafany taking a nice close range fight. Luckily, they're not looking at him, and with a spray like that, he can be very thankful for it. Zapower's left alone with the AWP, a 1v5 to find a nice shot, but he needs to do that a couple more times. Just too much to ask.
Yeah, far too much to ask. 8-6, last round and a half, Mitch. It looks like they might have just done it here, Gambit youngsters. Finally coming in, though, from forZe. They get the rifles out. They're going to have a few weaknesses, like I say. There's going to be Zapower on the Mac-10, not exactly the scenario you want him to be in. He hasn't really been all that impactful other than that big round he got them into. He's got 7 kills, 5 deaths. It's just an average performance. Not really doing a whole lot. And, well, Amazer can be burnt down to 53 HP. You have to also remember, three of Amazer's 7 kills came in a round that definitely changed the tides for forZe, so again, very, very impactful frags. But other than that, a couple of the kills, for instance, in that last round, just one kill, you know, in the 1 versus 5, you're not really getting just added to the tally, but no impact across the board. So, yeah, it's been a pretty quiet showing from Zapower in comparison to what we know he can show. And Shiro, same story for him, 3 and 8 right now. Not exactly doing much, and another missed shot here. He doesn't really usually miss these, but as soon as I say it, of course, the collateral comes in. Inter's killed his own teammate with the grenade though, and now FaceCrack with the headshot. Inter's under the pressure. It's Jerry who finds the headshot, and suddenly forZe have pulled this right back. The bomb and long though, like you say, Nafany has eyes on this, and Jerry's going to have to go back into the waiting arms of Nafany. He should be aware of this. He's an intelligent player. Smoked off the archway, but that's just going to allow him to peek. And Nafany's going to shut Jerry down with the line up. The FaceCrack gets the double. Nafany and Supra both line up, and FaceCrack with the triple kill. That's as lucky as you can get it, but he'll take those every day.
After being handed to you like that, why not? 14 kills for FaceCrack. Insane entries as well. You look at the B round, he rushed in with a Mach-10. He's not afraid to go first. Does a damn good job when he does. We finished that one out 2 for 3, so negative in opening duels. What a noob. But of course, every time you go in first, that you tend to die a couple times. Those initial fights. Once your teammates are trading you, that's all you really care about. But in fact, the only positive player in opening frags was Flit across that T side. forZe actually did really bad in them. This time, they managed to find one with Almazer on a double in Banana before falling. And then it's time to fade away for Flit because the Glocks, the train's starting to shoot. Luckily, being shut down. The brakes have been hit. They changed track.
The emergency stop, the derail, you know, they're completely gone. Advantage, though, it's still in play for forZe. Zapower's going to start coming back in from spawn. Oh, he should be good for a kill here. They will not be expecting his position. This could be huge. Super right in front of him. There's the first headshot. They are all the way up towards second middle, so he won't be able to be close by to get the follow-up kills just yet. Oh, Axel running out of balcony, takes down Jerry. Another push comes in towards the site. Nafany gets the digits punched in, and we've got ourselves a 3 versus 2. A man advantage in play for forZe as the smoke is down in towards long. The shots from Nafany starting to ring on in, but look at Zapower. He's got himself in behind again. Good headshot onto Nafany, and it's Axel looking to pull off the 1 versus 2 for his team. It's required of him if Gambit youngsters want to continue their success and get into the second half with a round win. And well, Axel does damage to the balcony player. Zapower drops to the pit, but it doesn't matter. A big 3K from Zapower and a little bit of teabagging as well. It's 10-6. It's forZe on double figures.
I don't know what we call that though, because he's not actually teabagging. He crouches and then sort of looks up and down. It's like a rubbing more so. Tea rubbing. There you go. It's an exfoliating technique. Quite good for the skin. I don't think that's why he's doing it though. 10-6. forZe feeling good, just like Zapower after that little exercise. And we're looking at what should be a follow-up round for free versus Glocks.
Well, Zapower going to peek down in towards middle. Nafany falls. USP gets rid of him. And now forZe, they're going on the offense. They've got players down in towards Banana. Almazer and Jerry, crossfire held. One from Logs, one from the close corner. If Gambit youngsters decide to walk into Banana, they're going to have a real rough time. No matter where they go, they're probably going to have a real rough time here. Hero though, 1 kill on the Glock, but the Banana push comes in. Cleans up and out Supra, the last remaining player. With probably not a whole lot to do here, unfortunately. Goodbye, Supra. First guy takes him away, and it's 11-6. forZe back in control at the moment, but this will be the real test. You know, we've got Gambit youngsters throwing the gauntlet down. forZe accepting the challenge as they come into this one. Round 18 plays through. Up in the hands of Shiro. Been a quiet performer here on Inferno. One that we definitely are not expecting. 2 of the 6 kills, remember, are collateral. So before that, had 4 kills on the AWP. And not a big showing here from Shiro, unfortunately, but we'll see. Well, that's a good start, Mitch. Certainly call him out. He shows up here early in the T side. That's exactly what they need.
If you're showing up T-side hopping, I mean, that's certainly a niche on Inferno.
Yeah, sure.
It's a power on Mazer, both low. Should be an easy enough round for Gambit youngsters. The forZe have stacked up the B bomb site, so now it comes down to a coin flip. You know, there's no way to tell where forZe are. They're tucked in very passive. They've got one player watching in towards the CT spawn, and then the rest are just on site waiting for the Ts to push into them. Gambit gonna have to push towards one part of the map, and we're seeing Axel step in towards Banana. Clearing their corners. Not seeing anybody. The 50-50 at the end of the day. Flash up top, Banana. Don't see anybody. And really, if forZe are playing this right, the player at Coffins isn't peeking until Jerry gets contact. And here come the smokes over. 30 seconds, very little time. If they drop the bomb, this round could be over.
Well, Axel starts to run on up, but it's going to be damage done. He's going to be 11 HP as he flees the scenes of power, taking his teammate down, but Shiro will reply. And now they swing into the open, face crack with one. But look at this position from Jerry, trying to be shrewd in behind the smoke. Has two players here now. They double peek. Oh, Jerry takes his own teammate down, but he still finds a kill. That's the bomb dropped. Only a few seconds left, and Jerry goes down as well. Oh, what a chaotic round on the B bomb side, but it's Gambit youngsters that walk away with a round win.
You want the good news or the bad news, Dinko?
The fantastic news, Mitch.
I lied. There's only bad news. The game has unfortunately crashed over on our end. So we missed that from the time that the push started, which was... Thank you for the commentary, though, the radio.
No problem. I hope you enjoyed the radio broadcast. I shall continue to do so if required. And currently at the moment, round number 19 on the warm summer evening here on Inferno, the Italian yard. We have got ourselves 1 minute and 39 seconds on the clock. Currently, Power on top of his teammate's head, elevating his performance from the top of the car, now looking over the half wall. You can see down in towards the T-Stars, the player crossing over. The flash blinding him for a moment, but Power cannot take the kill. Smoke down in front of Axel's face. Now banana control is Gambit, is forZe's to play with. They currently have 3 players there. Gambit youngsters have completely left Banana and are sending 4 players up into middle alongside the bomb. 1 player in towards the apartments, 2 of the CTs currently positioned in towards A. It's Flit on the bicycle inside of the pit, with his teammate currently positioned on balcony assisting him. A 3rd player now rotating over towards the A bomb site, currently in the archway smoke, is Jerry, as players cross over in towards long. It's Inters making a step on the Mac-10, but now pushes in towards the bomb site. And Fitz tracking the back lines, takes out a chicken, but will fall with a 5-7 in hand. The kill's been on in here for Gambit youngsters with 2 picked up, but Flit and Jerry will fight back. A 3 versus 3 and the bomb planted. Well, 3 players from forZe, unfortunately, will not be able to retake this A bomb site. So they will be fleeing the scene, they will be getting out of things, and heading their way over towards this B side of the map. Time will tick on this A site, and Gambit youngsters will gather themselves an 8th round, mainly off those 2 kills from Inters and Nafany. And so at the moment, forZe, they have saved over an AWP and 2 M4s. Jerry and Almazer carrying the M4s, the power on the AWP. Just 1.9k in the bank here for Face Crack. Flit 2.2k. We have a technical pause coming in, so hopefully you can get that sorted, Mitch.
And we're good. We should just be back in a second. There we go. But you can see, there's a couple tech issues getting things sorted there.
I hope that was kind of fun, actually.
You want me to turn it back off?
Yeah.
Twitch chat can vote. Radio commentary, or you get to see the game. I think I know what they'll choose. It has to be
much more descriptive. It's very difficult. It's a new challenge. But I think we have got a tech issue here. Not quite sure what's going on, so hopefully it doesn't last too much longer.
The
I can take a little
players,
look.
yeah, take a look. See what's going on. We've had a couple issues so far. I think this is the 4th tech pause that's come in
Okay,
from
they're
the
speaking
guys.
Russian, but I see TeamSpeaks in there and
All right.
lag, so I'm assuming it is TeamSpeak lag coming in. So hopefully they get that sorted. The player that called it was Jerry, and he has called the unpause, and they should be ready to get back in.
Well, be good to go then in just a matter of seconds. On 11-8 at the moment, you have to see forZe in a positive light still with the CT side to play out. And the potential for Gambit youngsters is definitely there. Have to unlock it. Next map is Overpass, one where I feel like forZe will still get on relatively well. But it is a Gambit youngsters sided map for sure. So if we don't end up on 3 maps, I'd be quite surprised. I think, actually, probably if Gambit youngsters take this one, they're in for the long haul. And, oh, we've got the glitch, Dinko. They've only gone and done us with the invisible guns. Just notice one of the players has it. We'll fix that during the pause in between the rounds.
Well, there's a power here with the AWP. It's going to be Almeza playing front oranges. Axel taking a double kill, cutting right through Almeza and FaceCrack. The bomb getting planted. It's going to be around here for Gambit youngsters, forcing the save again from forZe. And this is good. I mean, they've initially come into this half on the back foot, right? forZe pick out the pace. They're starting to look good. Suddenly, Gambit youngsters find a little bit of fight back, and in these duels, effectively, it's Axel this time. And earlier on, you have to remember, it was Axel and Shiro who were the 2 front runners for Gambit youngsters. So if they can keep that up, then this is certainly the recipe for success. We've already seen it work out earlier today for the Gambit youngsters.
With all 5 players alive, they're looking very, very good. When you take a look at what forZe have to work with in this, they can easily get a buyout themselves, dropping over the M4s. But the control exhibited by the T side in a round like that definitely stands to them moving forward. So far, very much what Gambit youngsters struggled with defending in the beginning couple rounds is where forZe are falling down in towards Banana. A congestion just isn't going their way. FaceCrack a little bit late out of spawn, goes for an SMG, and 4 players early make their way towards that B side, evidently trying to make a little bit of a change to how B has been going for them. Or maybe just a bit of miscommunication, as you see FaceCrack change his ways and move on to the A side. Holding long with an SMG, not traditional. Relocates a little bit. The Gambit youngsters, they look again for Banana. There's 3 players here, unbeknownst to them, but 1 now on the rotate after a deep smoke. The power wants to get on top and spot out if it's clear or not. Has to be cautious of players already being around tree. He's cleared that out for the most part, as his teammate will now push up close and they can get that control. The power still has the smoke to play with, and as they clear out these angles, Jerry a little late, checking close right, but he makes it into tree. The power can just throw the smoke down. At the moment, he's playing anti-flash, hoping that they try to re-seize a bit of control. We can smack them out.
Shiro with a Molotov. Actually, could have go as deep as it probably should have. That actually clips the wall. Gives a lot of time for the power to get away from it. 35 seconds. Currently, Gambit youngsters with their forces outside of the say bomb side. They're going to start sprinting through, flit towards the back line. He's going to have to try and hold on, but he can't do stuff from the pit. He can't do anything. And now Almeza and FaceCrack to get kills through. It's a 3 versus 3 as the utility heads towards the back lines. It's the Molotov burning through inside of the site. Shiro and Supra, 2 versus 2 now. And with the bomb planted, this is starting to look okay here, but Zapower needs to hit these quick shots. He goes forward. Shiro's going to be tied. Oh, Zapower starting to wake up. There's 2 kills. Huge play from Zapower. Just cleans up. Hit some nutty shots. He landed that first one onto Shiro, but I believe it was through the top of the wall, so it doesn't do enough damage to kill him. But still impressive, still lightning fast. And Zapower, what a round! Takes it 4-4s, then they go 12 up.
Another pause of the technical variety. These guys are not having an easy time today, are they? I think that's tech pause number 5.
Yeah, and we've actually been kind of lucky with our tech pauses today. Online Counter-Strike, it's usually riddled with them, but at the moment, we have actually not really had any up until this point. So, yeah, it's been a rough game in terms of the tech pauses. I'll take a look again to see which way this one's going to go, and even on our end as well, we've had some tech pauses, tech issues. So let's have a look. There's a power timed out, I think. Brilliant. Not exactly what you want.
Damn.
But apparently he's ready now. So the admin just needs to put the game live.
Okie dokes. Yeah, they're really not having a good time when it comes down to those tech issues. Nor are they having a good time when it comes down to the CT side. For the most part, there's been a fairly good Gambit Youngsters T-side display.
But it's a pretty good start from forZe.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And then kind of crumbled a little bit. Gambit started picking up a little bit of a streak. And then Zapower, you know, that round could have went either way. Zapower comes in, wins the clutch. Now forZe get an opportunity. So it's exactly why you want to call it tech pause here, is Zapower's crash, because he's probably the most impactful player involved right now. Well, right back into things, Mitch. It's going to be the purchase from both teams. Almirza on the M4A1S. Now, not my favorite gun, I have to say, but he's rocking it. The rest with the other M4 is the better one. And the AK-47 here for Jerry. And that's going to cut through Banana. Axel shut down early. Light damage done to Jerry, but he's still got Banana control.
Just about. Very close to falling with the 2 players up behind him, though. Gambit Youngsters realize they're up against a pretty hefty stack in B and move towards the A site. Flash goes over, Face Crack providing some cover, but Flit isn't going to be peeking. That smoke completely blocking him out of any duel. And they're trying to smoke off Pit, but they've left a gap for Flit to work around. Face Crack coming out to short, not able to find the kill, and neither is Flit. Oh, 2 players so low. This retake is doable for forZe. They're going to struggle. The damage dealing utility goes in. No kills found on the back of it. And with one of those low HP players being an op and access to Pit for Gambit, they should be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, 3v3. Still could go either way, but Gambit Youngsters, like you noted, very strong post-plant positions, but none in the pit. Instead, 2 are tucked in the site itself. Now, this needs to be a quick shot from Zapower. An opportunity not given to him, though. Nafany taking the kill. Into's coming through as well. Now, Mirza hits the deck. Brilliant stuff. Gambit Youngsters take all 3 kills without dropping a single player in that post-plant.
Considering their HP, that is pretty phenomenal. And now rocking through on double digits. They are in a fantastic spot.
Oh, yeah. It's really good right now. Coming in here for the Gambit Youngsters. We do take a look at what forZe have, Mitch. It's an AWP that has a power. Okay, so that's definitely something you want to have it. And he's not going to get a good start. But the rest on pistols. One M4 and playing Jerry. How many times have we seen Jerry do some crazy stuff from these sandbags and Inferno as well?
Looks like one more pretty soon. Inter's getting
heavy-nated.
That hurts. The guys in Gambit Youngsters, both Super and Inters, seem to just be magnetic for nades. Like Kirby in Super Smash Bros. Just inhaling them. I don't know if it's actually Kirby that does that, but it's the pink one.
I know you don't like Kirby because I destroyed you with Kirby.
Oh, that's what it is. That's where my nightmares come from. Yeah. Son of a...
Yep. The one-trick wonder. Well, 50 seconds left. In play, currently forZe hold the advantage thanks to Jerry and his big swing from the sandbags. And now with 45 seconds, Gambit Youngsters congregate outside of the A-bomb site. Utility still available. A plethora of it, in fact. Face cracking behind the hay builds, has one player and flit back of the A bomb site. And Almirza with the AK in the pit itself. Face crack taking a kill down on towards Nafani. Almirza coming back in as well. And there's 10 seconds left. The cleanup comes through. Almirza gets the double. But take a look at what buy Gambit youngsters have. It's Galil, a Deagle here for Axel. What was once looking so brilliant for the Gambit youngsters might just start to crumble here. Peek down in towards Banat from Zapower, looking for that opening. Molotov burning away the car, and the hit is going to go through. And now they continue to toss that utility in. forZe, good job. This utility usage in these last few rounds has been absolutely brilliant. Gambit youngsters have been completely locked out of Banana. They try and fight back, they try and throw some utility of their own, but it's not working out for them. And now 4 players from forZe coming over towards this A bomb site. Currently have Supra up in the apartments. 3 down in towards the A ramp in terms of Axel alongside Shiro and Inters. So just taking the time here, Gambit youngsters trying to draw out that utility from forZe so they don't walk into just a bombardment of nades. Like you said, they've been taking a lot of damage on board there, Mitch.
Yeah, they have been pummeled consistently by it. And for Gambit youngsters, with their slow approach up through Banana, I can see Zapower hitting this in just a second. He's waiting. But he decides to just back off and lob the smoke through instead. Had the line up perfectly other than that. Now 13 to 10. Look, Gambit youngsters got top Banana control. They've got players in towards long as well. They want to push and split through on the B bomb site. They're opening up a lot of opportunities with this. The potential of late push A is definitely there. It's going to depend on Axel. He looks for kills. Can't find anybody just yet. Sees Jerry and gets the headshot. Not even traded out afterwards as they take out face crack in the back. That was absolutely clinical. forZe left in a 2v4 and a retake they can't really afford to go for.
Well, what was looking good at the start of this round as well, you know, there's a weaker buy from Gambit youngsters. forZe have initial Banana control. Everything looking good for them at the start of the round. Doesn't go their way here. It's actually crumbled and fallen to pieces here for the forward side. Almirza and Flit have no other option but to save these 2 AK-47s over on the A side of the map. So 13 to 11, probably the best game we've had so far today. Take a look at these two teams head to head. This is definitely the best matchup we've had on the B stream.
And we were debating whether that was going to be the case or not. You know, forZe's inconsistent form could have landed to this being a Gambit youngsters game. Gambit could have been cooled down from earlier, but it seems a little bit unlikely. Just Shiro and Axel doing so much work. We mentioned Super, Nafni, Inters all showing up on their own level as well to a point that it's definitely not... Like, no one's struggling to put up the numbers. Filling the roles. Inters never really been a player... I know you can look at him 8 to 13 at the moment, but... Really, he's not the guy that's supposed to be getting the kills. It's the flashes he comes through with. The trading of his teammates. Gotta play around them. 13 to 11. Gambit youngsters look again for 3-man Banana control. It's centered massively around Shiro on that AWP. They're going to boost up with the AK. Shiro peeks at the same time. 2 players, 1 angle. That's exactly how you need to approach this. The trades should be possible in pretty much any situation, even if there's an AWP on that corner. Almirza on the back of the side towards Dark. It's the first shot. A headshot in play. Swings through now on a crossfire with his teammate. And they have Jerry on a... Sorry, Zapower on a Deagle here to support. This is a really big stack on B. And forZe find all the kills as Gambit walk forward. Although Super catches a rotation on A, it's still a 3v2. And the bomb is down in the open.
30 seconds. Like you said, bomb on the floor. Jerry shows that he's still aware of that. Looking down upon it, FaZe peeks to confirm that they are still there towards top banana. Both players currently are. That's just about this crossfire gap on the edge of the smoke here. FaZe can spot them cross over and relook at his crosshair. The first comes in near the lineup in the second, but that's Jerry's job. Peeks out and assists his teammate. 14-11 for forZe. Not around, they should have won, but one that they get under their belt. And they are now 2 away from victory here on map number 1.
And they've certainly made sure that it's pretty difficult for themselves. Pulling it in 14-11, a spot now for forZe. Okay, a pause even coming through. Make sure they don't up the difficulty anymore. The thing is, 14-11, good scoreline. They're close to the victory, absolutely. Gambit youngsters don't have a lot of cash, so it should be a light buy. Problem for forZe, they can't really afford to lose any players to this kind of investment. Gambit could easily come through on Deagles and Armor. Getting that out with on the majority of their players is perfectly viable. They can even go down to P250s, bit of utility, get a faster round and play. And forZe need to be sure whatever they go for, they're planning for every scenario of Gambit's purchase. Hero investing into a lot of utility, and for the Opera to do that indicates we're going to be looking at a fairly decent round for Gambit youngsters. In fact, more so. I was thinking Deagle's Armor on absolutely everybody with a bit of utility. They go in for AKs. They're able to get 2 of those out alongside of Galil. This is a perfectly fine buy for Gambit youngsters, and forZe need to be so careful, and caution is not in Jerry's vocabulary. Straight down banana he goes.
Players from Gambit youngsters shaping up for this A bomb site hit. Currently 3 players on the site itself. Goes down in towards the short side. Minute left on the clock. So power this time off towards the long angle with the AWP. Should be good for at least 1 kill here, unless he is neutralized by a piece of utility. Gambit youngsters just running down the clock, letting the fuse burn down, and now they go forward. Utility starts to come on in. It's the power. Gets flashed off of the angle, and that does allow Gambit youngsters to seize a little bit of control in towards long. They can start to put pressure here. FaZe is going to try and hold on, but Axel with the headshot right between the eyes. Flit with a double kill. This is huge. The power as well inside the site manages 1 and 4s. They've somewhat held on. And it's Axel and Nafany looking to do it all. And Axel is the man that's making it happen. Nafany somehow stays alive. Eventually he'll go down. And now it's Jerry up against Axel. The bomb plant can come through. Jerry running towards the site. Knife out goes to spray. There it is. Jerry shuts down Axel. They don't even get a bomb plant. And it's map point here for forZe.
The confidence for Jerry there to run forward, even jumping towards the site, masking his footsteps for but a second, but taking the risk. You know, had that bomb have been tapped and Axel swung a little wider towards default, Jerry would have been in midair by the time he was peeking around that corner. But it was worthwhile in the end, because you saw Axel stick the bomb for a second longer before he realized, oh, this dude's just jumped at me. He is coming for this. And by that point, it was too late. But Jerry's so fun to watch as a rifler, and knowing the fact that obviously he's IGLing at the same time is immensely fun. He must be doing so many things in his head at once. But when he's left in a 1vx situation, that's when he can perform.
Yeah, Jerry's nuts, and he's a fragging in-game leader. He has a good personality. He's obviously very good at being the in-game leader as well. So a lot going for this player. Very talented. Just over a minute now for Gambit youngsters. 4 Deagles and 1 Scout. This is what they've brought to the table to try and win this round. To try and stay alive. It has to be flawless now. They cannot lose a single round. And well, that's not a good start whatsoever. It's a power. He picks off 1, but he's traded back by Shiro. FaZe spraying away alongside Flit as the kills continue to come in. It's forZe here, walking away with a map win. Nafany stuck in the pit, and well, he'll manage 1. He'll go back up for more, but there it is. Jerry seals the deal. 16-11. forZe will be taking Inferno. They take map 1 of the series.